It's Charge Talks with Jan, turning brokenness into ministries and stories into stepping stones, overcoming mountains and walking through valleys. It's Charge Talks with Jan. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jan, and it is another amazing day. It is Wednesday, June 9th, and it is gonna be a beautiful day. So, today we're gonna be talking about what to do when you are definitely uncertain about what to do. Sounds familiar to anybody? Anybody has ever gotten up in the morning and you're like, what do I do? You know, there's so many things going through your head, but you're doubtful, you're itchy, you're iffy, you're wondering, you're discombobulated. What do I do? Well, my advice to myself and to anybody else who's willing to listen is believe what he has already said. And I remember listening to something and it dawned on me when the person says, you know, one of the main reasons why we distrust God is because we forget what he has already done and said before. And it is so true. Like a lot of times I'll get up and I'm so flustered or you know, things are just not, you know, going the way that I want them to in my mind. And I start to get frantic and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do now? And there's this calmness that if I sit long enough, that just comes over, and it's like this hugging feeling that says, hey, I've got you. You know, I did it before. I can do it again and again and again, and I can continue for eternity. But sometimes we often forget what God has already done, where he has already taken us from, what he has already taken us through, you know, and we become forgetful about the events that God has blown up and he has made masterpieces out of. You know, he took some little things and he made them to be so spectacular, and everybody was just wowed and in awe, and you're like, oh, my God did that. And so this is why I so often remind myself whenever I find myself in a posture that is uncomfortable, I sit and I say, Jan, relax. I know, but relax. I know everything right now seems a bit hazy, and everybody wants to, you know, throw you in this direction and throw you in that direction and bring you up and take you down. But I need you to go back to the one thing and the one person that has always been consistent in your life. I'm not talking about your mom. I'm not talking about your dad. I'm not talking about your best friend. I'm not talking about your mentors. I'm not talking about teachers or best friends. Those are not who I'm talking about. Those are great people, phenomenal people. But I'm talking about the one God who has always been consistent. Even when you have been up and down, rounded around like a roller coaster, he has always been consistent with what he says. So I dare us today to believe what he has already said. I dare us today to believe when he said that I am gonna watch over you when you go out and when you come in. I'm gonna be there when you're in trouble. I'm gonna be your present help in the time of your need. I'm gonna stand with you. I'm not gonna leave you. I'm not gonna forsake you. I'm not gonna abandon you. No, I'm gonna be right there. So when everything and everything in your life gives you every reason to doubt God, and when everything comes and tap you on your shoulder and say, hey, he ain't gonna come through this time. You know, he's not gonna show up like he said he would. And a lot of time, our timing and God's timing are off because God comes in at the exact time that he knows that you need it. Not when everybody is telling you and your mind and its 1 million opinions are telling you that he needs to come through right now. He needs to do it right now. If it doesn't happen now, it's not going to happen again. God's sitting there and he's like, my child, I'm going to come through at the exact time that I need to. And then boom, he comes through. And everything just makes a whole lot of sense. You know, everything is the way it should be. And you're like, yeah, I know. But did you really know? Like like honestly, I don't know for anybody else, but sometimes I have to say, Jan, you know you lied. You wanted to believe, but everything was telling you not to. And so this is why I can honestly say that a lot of times, based on the posture that we're in or the situations that we're in, we tend to doubt God. We tend to wonder if this is big enough, or can God really handle this? But in my experience, God handles everything. He's the best closer there is. He is the best defense lawyer there is. He comes in and he wins the case, and he lets everybody know that this is my courtroom. You may be saying a whole lot of stuff. You may be babbling on, but I come in and I make things work. And that is who you have in your corner. That is who you have to depend on. That is who you have in at your sides. You know, that is who is going to be there with you. He promises that he will never leave. He promises that he will always show up on time. And trust and believe what he has already said. Because what he has already said, God knows that he believes it. He told us in his word in Isaiah, he says, listen, before you even finish praying, I've answered. Before you ask, I've answered. What a God. What an awesome God. You know, who else is like unto him? Nobody else. So dare today to trust what he has already said about you. You know, dare to remember where he has already taken you from and what he has already done. Because if you can remember those times, and I know the devil might be flooding your mind with all sorts of stuff to say, you know, he did it then, but there was a reason why he did it, or he did it this time, that time, but there was a reason why he went above and beyond. There's always going to be a reason why he does it. Why? Because he loves us. Because he died on the cross that we might be saved. And that is always going to be his reason. Love. Every single time he's going to always show up because he loves us and because he promises. And God ain't a God to lie. I don't know about anybody else's life, but he has not been lying about mine. He shows up when he says he's going to show up. And I know that he's going to do the same for you. I'm sure. Why? Because he's God. I know. So trust him today. Trust what he has already said about you. Because I'm trusting what he is saying about me and what he has already said about me. And I need you to trust him too.